Okay, welcome you all. The next question in this unit, plant tissue culture, is the describe the aspects of micropropagation with reference to orchid. So here the micropropagation techniques that are used with the productions of the orchid flowers they are describing here. So what is orchids? Anybody knows? So these orchids, that means it is the beautiful ornamental flowering plants. It is the epiphytic plants and its flowers are very attractive and beautiful. In market, there is the higher value of these orchids flowers. In preparation of the bouquet or in any event or wall decoration, these orchid flowers are used, and these flowers they are remain as it is up to the 1 month. यदि हम वो फ्लावर कट करके वो फ्लावर्स हम 1 मंथ तक एज इट इज वो फ्लावर रह सकते हैं. That's why in market these flowers have the high values. So these orchid plants they are comes under the family Orchidaceae. In that about 1,000 genera and more than 22,000 species are included. These orchid plants they are epiphytic or terrestrial. Epiphytic, what is mean by epiphytes? What is mean by epiphytes? Anybody knows? So epiphyte that means the plant they are grows on the large tree or grows on the another plant. That's why epiphytes. So these orchids they are epiphytes. They are growing on the another plants. आपने रेनी सीजन में देखा होगा जो लार्ज ट्रीज रहती है उनके ऊपर कुछ छोटे छोटे प्लांट्स वहां पे ग्रो होते हैं तो उसमें कुछ ऑर्किड्स भी रहते हैं. ऑर्किड्स के जो फ्लावरिंग रहते हैं जब फ्लावरिंग होता है तब आप उसे इजीली आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो कि वो बहुत ही अट्रैक्टिव और ब्यूटीफुल उसके फ्लावर्स रहते हैं. सो दिस ऑल ऑर्किड प्लांट्स दे आर ग्रोइंग एज अ एपिफाइट्स और सम ऑर्किड्स दे आर इन also टेरेस्ट्रियल. लैंड पे भी वो ग्रो होते हैं और कुछ ऐसे प्लांट है कि वो बार्क के ऊपर ही ग्रो होते हैं तो दे आर एपिफाइट्स. Then they are prolonged keeping quality. These orchid flowers they are remain as it is from 15 to 20 days. Certain orchids flowers they are bloom and remain fresh for the 13 days. 1 month तक वो flowers as it is fresh रह सकते हैं. तो देखो उसकी मतलब जो क्वालिटी है क्वालिटी भी अच्छी रह सकती है तो इसकी वजह से जो मार्केट में उसकी फ्लावर्स की वैल्यू सबसे ज्यादा रहती है. Next point is regarding the importance of so orchid flowers. They are very attractive, remains fresh for the longer duration, and show the mimicry with the animals or insect. जो भी फ्लावर्स है वो फ्लावर्स दिखने में कैसे रहते हैं तो कुछ एनिमल्स के फेसेस की तरह वो लगते हैं कुछ इंसेक्ट्स की तरह उनका शेप रहता है. एक तो फ्लावर ऐसा है कि जो मंकी का जो फेस रहता है उस तरह के उसके फ्लावर्स रहते हैं तो बहुत अच्छे दिखने में जो इंसेक्ट और एनिमल के जो भी फेसेस रहते हैं उसी तरह उसका फ्लावर का शेप रहता है. तो that's why in market or commercially they are having very much importance. Then some flowers are the aesthetic value. Aesthetic that in the sense uh, in different temples for decoration these flowers are used. Then In perfume industry, some orchid members they are highly fragrant. Smell भी बहुत अच्छा रहता है. So they are scented and they are used in the perfume industry. Then next one is the medicinal value. Some orchid plants they are medicinally important. They are used for preparations of the herbal medicines in China, and since long ago, these plants they are having the medicinal value. That's why they are used for curing the diseases and different ailments. Then also some plant orchid plants they are having the food values. So the fleshy parts of these flowers, enormous pollination material that is pollen grains, gynoecium part are used as food for the insect, butterflies, and also humans. So it's these flowers also used as a food value. So commercially, these orchid plants are very important. First is in due to the attractive natures of these flowers, they are having the uh, great commercial value at the market. It also used in the perfume industry due to the scents which are present in these orchids. It orchid plants are some orchids they are having the medicinal value, so they can use to cure some diseases or ailments. They are also having the food values, so some insect, butterflies, and also humans, they are use the floral parts for the as a food. So for orchid production, the technology are used recently. That is conventionally the or the plant material or growing on very small scale and in natural as well as in artificial. Artificial that means the artificially the make the surroundings like the कि जो बड़े बड़े ट्रीज रहते ट्रीज के ऊपर ट्रीज होगा उसके ऊपर शेल्स और कोल्स एक्सेट्रा यूज करके वो एनवायरमेंट बनाया जाता है ताकि जो ऑर्किड प्लांट्स है ऑर्किड प्लांट्स वहां पे अच्छे ग्रो हो सके यदि हमें ऑर्किड प्लांट का ग्रो करना है तो उसके लिए हम उसके सीड्स नहीं तो स्टेम पार्ट यूज कर प्लांट ग्रो लेकिन इसके लिए हमें लार्ज ट्री चाहिए जो ट्रंक वगैरह रहता है ट्रंक में हम वैसा कुछ हस्क डाल के कुछ सेल्स वगैरह डाल के उसके ऊपर हमें प्लांट ग्रो कर स्मॉल स्केल इट इज होम गार्डन्स हम वैसे कर सकते हैं कमर्शियल है तो हमें उसका माइक्रो प्रोपोगेशन करना पड़ेगा तो थ्रू टिश्यू कल्चर्स हम ऑर्किड कर सकते हैं टिश्यू जो भी सीड्स वगैरह होंगे सीड्स हम माइक्रो प्रोपोगेशन सीड्स यूज कर सकते हैं या तो कोई भी प्लांट यूज कर सकते हैं और उससे नंबर ऑफ प्लांटलेट्स वहाँ हमें मिल सकते और these number of plantlets they are having the very good result if the mother plant will be very हेल्दी एंड सुपेरियर यदि मदर प्लांट अच्छे से हम सिलेक्ट करेंगे तो जो भी हम प्लांटलेट्स वहाँ पे डेवलप करेंगे वो भी अच्छे से डेवलप हो सकते तो यहाँ पे इन माइक्रो प्रोपोगेशन थ्रू टिश्यू कल्चर्स वी हैव we have get the number of plantlets. Then here we have discussed more detail about the micropropagation with reference to the orchids. So here in orchids there are number of species like or some important orchids in market, that is Bulbophyllum genus, then Epidendrum, then Dendrobium, Pleurothallus, Pleurothallus, then vanilla तो आपको पता है vanilla, it is also a epiphyte in the sense vanilla sense उसके सेंस बनाए जाते हैं जो कि हम आइसक्रीम या और जो इंडस्ट्रीज है बेकिंग इंडस्ट्री में वेनिला का यूज किया जाता है. सो वेनिला इट इज ऑल्सो epiphytic plants and they are the plants that are formed from the micropropagations, and in industry uh, large scales of vanilla they are produces. Then plant anthurium. Anthurium it is also orchid and very red colored, very attractive flowers are there. They are also used by using the micropropagation techniques. So here there in that question you have to also write about the advantages of uh, orchid production. So, jo advantages we have discussed in the first in floriculture, you have to write same here. That is, if we plant are formed from these through the tissue culture, there is the some important points like the plants they are having disease free plants, then it is superior, then it not showing any variations, then due to this micropropagation it helps to overcoming the dormancy, then it helps for the early flowering, it control condition, that's why there is the no appearance of the disease. Then this micropropagation technique which if we use in orchid production, there is the quality as well as quantity of this flower production that will be increased. So these are the advantages, they are same you have to write here as well as in questions of the orchid production. Then techniques of micropropagation. These techniques are the same. Same you have to write here. Write for the orchid questions. So techniques in micropropagations. First is about the selection of plant material. So here we select the healthy as well as superior orchid plants. Then as a explant preparation. So here any part of this plant we can use as an explant for micropropagation. Then next stage is the sterilization. Here the all material that are used in these micropropagation technique, they all the material are sterilized one. Then inoculation, thatly it is the actual process in that we have transfer the explant on the slant. Then incubation that means in that in control condition we have kept the all slant for the callus development. After callus development there is the reculturing of the callus. So these callus that will be cutted in number of pieces, handy pieces that will transfer on the new slant. So here reculturing of after the reculturing of callus, the test tubes are kept on control condition for incubation for the maintained condition. Then after the formation of root and shoot, these plantlets that will be hardening gradually from lab to the natural environment. So after the plant that will be hardened, they will be transferred for the cultivation in environment. So these are the different techniques in the micropropagation. We have to same explain here in these questions the orchid production. So regarding the orchid production, first in that you have to write about the orchid plant, then There is the importance of the orchid regarding the commercial importance, its industrial importance, medicinal importance, and as a food importance or food value. Then you have to write about the technology. So conventional method as well as tissue culture method. So conventional method, it is very small scale used, but you have to explain here. Then in micropropagation, nowadays these techniques are used in large scales for commercial purposes. Then you have to write about the species or different plant orchid species that are used in the micropropagation techniques. So here different species of the orchids like bulbophyllum, epidendron, dendrodium, then vanilla, anthurium. These are important species which are used at the commercial level. Then you have to write about the advantages of the orchid production or floriculture are the same. So you have to write the same here. And then techniques of the micropropagation, in that you have to write the all step in micropropagation which are used in the orchid production. So all of you got this point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in next lecture we have discussed about the somatic embryogenesis. Regarding the floriculture and orchid production, the little but change, but all the information that is advantages or techniques, these are the same. And you have to write, if question asked regarding the floriculture, then you have to write the importance of the floriculture. ऑर्किड के बारे में पूछेंगे तो पर्टिकुलरली वहां पे पहले ऑर्किड का जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है ऑर्किड के बारे में लिखो और बाद में जो टेक्निक्स और उसके जो इम्पोर्टेंस है वो लिखो.